Hello, welcome to Inspiration by Terry. I hope that everyone is doing well. Sorry, I'm going to move this camera a little closer. Hope everyone is doing well and you're having a wonderful day. I want to come here to encourage someone, anyone that needs to be encouraged in this area, that you are waiting on the Most High to come through for you and you're not understanding the waiting period, or you're not understanding what's taken so long, or did he hear your prayer? Is he going to answer? Is he going to come through for you? And we already know that the Most High is going to come through for us. And we already know that he's faithful. And if he promised you something, that he's definitely going to deliver whatever it is that he promised to you. And we know that we have seasons in our lives, seasons that seems like we're stagnant, seasons that seems like nothing's happening, and seasons that seems like our prayers are going unheard, or just seems like you're just going through a season of waiting, just waiting. But we know that seasons happen in all of our lives. Seasons are good. Seasons come to build character. Seasons come to build strength. Seasons come to push you to the throne, push you to your knees. There, spring, summer, winter, and fall. There's so many different seasons, and we, in our spiritual walk, we will experience seasons of hardship, seasons of lack. We'll experience seasons of abundance. We'll experience seasons of sorrow. We'll experience seasons of joy. There's different seasons that come into our lives, but we have to know that when these seasons come, that we have to keep our focus and keep our attention on the Most High. He said, if we draw nigh to him, he will draw nigh to us. So in those times, in the seasons of difficulty, we have to draw nigh to him. We have to press him. We have to, praise our way through. Praise is a weapon. When you're going through hardships and when you're going through hard times and times when you don't understand and times of waiting and seasons of waiting, you have to praise your way through. Prayer and praise is a weapon to turn your situation around, to turn your frown into a smile, to just take up all those heaviness. It's like a strength exchange when you just begin to praise the Most High, and in return he strengthens you as you release all those feelings of whatever it is that you're going through, and release those things unto him. Through praise you are strengthened, and through praise you're drawn nigh unto him. And you have to know that no matter what the season that you're going through, it could be a season of abundance. If you have a season of abundance, you're happy, everything is going good, you have more than enough. And when you have a season of abundance, you have to prepare for the next season, because there's another season's coming. There might be something coming up the road that you don't know that's going to happen. So you don't go crazy in your season of abundance. You prepare and you make sure you store up for the seasons that may come, where someone else may have a need, or you might going to have a need. So in your season of abundance, you have to be able to discern, and you have to be able to use wisdom in how you handle your abundance. When you're in the season of lack, you draw nigh and press into the Most High through your praise and through your prayer and spending time with him. And as he is strengthening you in your season of lack, and he is fortifying you, and he's teaching you how to trust him in your season of lack. He's teaching you how to trust him. He's teaching you, he's strengthening you. He's getting some things or doubts out of you. He's redefining you and getting you to see him as a provider and as a way maker, and you might not see it immediately, but when you come through your season and you look back and you will see all the ways that the Most High had provided for you, and he made provision that you would not lack any beneficial thing, anything that you needed, he was there to provide for you in that season. Hindsight is always like 2020. You can always see clearly after you come through the season, but when you're in the season and you cannot see and understand what you're going through, know that during your seasons that the Most High is using every season, every situation in your life, every hardship in your life, everything in your life is using for your good. No matter if you did it, you didn't do it, he did it, he closed the door, he opened the door, he slammed the door shut. He's using every situation to orchestrate a beautiful tapestry in your life. And he is doing something behind the scenes that you may not understand. You may not understand for a long time, but he's working it together for your good and his glory. So in your seasons when you don't understand, you have to trust his plan for your life. You have to know that he is faithful, and he said that he will give you the desires of your heart, and he will give you the desires of your heart. And you keep praying and you keep praising and you keep pressing in and you're reading your word. All of a sudden your desires are going to begin to change to the desires that the Most High will put inside of you, and they're going to line up because he says that he wills in us, to do his good pleasure. And when our desires begin to line up with his desires, because we are doing his will, and they're the desires of our heart because he put them there. The Most High put them there. And as you press into him, he will give you the desires of your heart. He will answer your prayers. We all have to go through our seasons. We have to be tried. We have to be tested. We have to be pruned. We have seasons of lack, abundance, joy, sorrow, so many different seasons, but they're all working together for good. So we're going to just use briefly the story of Joseph, how the Lord had a purpose and a plan for Joseph, and he gave him a dream. And when Joseph shared his dream with his brothers got jealous. Like, who does he think he is, telling us that we're going to bow down to him and that we're going to need him? And they were already jealous of Joseph because, his father loved Rachel. His father, Jacob, loved Rachel more, because we already know the story of how Jacob had to work all those years for Rachel. The father he married Leah. The father tricked him with her sister, but how he had to work an additional years to get Rachel. So when he had his children, Joseph and Benjamin, Jacob loved Joseph. He loved Benjamin too. He loved all his sons, but he loved Joseph. And Joseph, he gave him a cloak of many colors, and his brothers saw the way their father looked at him, and the father loved him and preferred him. And so they were like, and then he's going to share the dream with them, and they're like, who does he think he is? Like, we're going to get rid of this dude. We're getting rid of him. So, they're going out to do what the Lord had called them to do. I mean, what their father had told them to go do, out, in the field, doing what they do. And they decide to throw Joseph into a pit, right? So he's left for dead. They told their father, we don't know what happened to him. We just found his cloak, and maybe some wild animal ate him. We don't know what happened to him, but we just found his cloak and blood was on it. Then he goes from the pit to prison. He serves time in prison. And here the poor guy did nothing wrong. So in your situation or in your season, you might be going through something and it seems like all the odds are against you, and it seems like, you're losing this. You might be losing a job, you might have lost a child, you might have lost a spouse, you might have lost, I don't know. But you could be going through seasons of despair and of no choice of yours, nothing that you've done to deserve what you're going through. So now Joseph's in prison, and he's serving time in prison to only be appointed to the Pharaoh and being second in command in the Pharaoh's house. There was nobody in Egypt more powerful than the Pharaoh. And right under him was Joseph. His life didn't look like he deserved to be the second in command. He was thrown into a pit. His brothers didn't like him. They were jealous of him. They hated him. His father preferred him, but his brothers did not like him. So he suffered much. Joseph suffered much, and for nothing, because he didn't do anything wrong. He was just loved and favored. Are you going through a situation where your siblings might be hating on you, or your family might be hating on you for nothing, for no reason, just because who you are? Just because who you are, you're being hated upon? Are you thrown into prison? Are you, being locked up or being closed out of things just because who you are? Be patient in this time, in this season in your life, because the Most High is using even those hard places, even those difficult places where they don't make any sense, when you don't even deserve to be going through what you're going through. Press in. Praise your way through. Draw nigh unto the Most High. Read your word. Pray, trust, and have faith, because now he's second in command. Now the Most High put into him the wisdom to prepare for the famine that he showed him through a dream that was going to happen years ahead. 7 years ahead, he showed him. So when they had plenty, when things were in abundance, he began to stock up, and he began to throw back extra wheat, extra this, extra that, so that, and when the famine came, they would not go without. There would be no lack. So he did what the Father instructed him to do in his dream. He stored up when he had the season of abundance, because we know that there's going to be seasons of abundance in our life, and there's going to be seasons of lack. There's going to be seasons of sorrow. There's going to be seasons of joy. But how you handle each of these seasons with wisdom and with discernment, and asking the Most High to show you show you what to do when you have extra and when you don't have enough. Lord, give me the wisdom. Show me. So here now his father sends his sons over to Egypt. They're running out of grain and they don't have enough. Go over there and buy food so we can have food, because there's a famine. There's a famine in the land. So his brothers go, and Joseph recognizes his brothers. We all know the story. And he says, well, where's your other brother? Don't you have another brother? Yeah, but we don't know where he's at, but we do have another brother. Well, how about your father? I'm not going to give you guys anything unless you bring your father so I can see your father. So he brings his father to see him. And what does Joseph do? He went through all that persecution. He went through all the hardship of his brothers mistreating him and leaving him to die, leaving him in a ditch to whatever. They didn't know what was going to happen to Joseph. He could have got his hand cut off. He could have bled out. He could have got eaten by a bear, eaten by lions, tigers. Who knows? They don't know. They never knew what could have happened to him. So how cruel is that for your brothers to leave you high and dry with no care, just going about their life, not even checking to see if you made through, not even coming to look in the pit and say, oh, did he make it, or is he there? They didn't care. So when he saw his brothers, he looked at them when they came with their father, he looked at them and he gave them just what they needed. He hugged them, and they didn't even know who he was. He said to them, he had to tell them who he was. I'm your brother. The same one that you did this to, the same one that you did that to. His father wept, and his father wept, and his father wept because he could not believe that he was seeing his precious son again. But was Joseph mean to his brothers? No. He went through all that, the years in prison, the time that he spent in Pharaoh's house, the time that he spent in a pit, all probably thinking, why am I going through this? What did I do to deserve this? Just like you, whatever situation you're going through, well, what did I do to deserve this? And how comes this is happening to me, Most High? Like, I don't understand why this is happening to me. But look at the story of Joseph, where all these years later, that all that he had to suffer and to endure was for purpose, to save many, the Bible says, much people alive. If Joseph was not second in command and didn't have that dream to stack up and to throw back all that extra grain for the future, many people would have died. So sometimes you could be going through something that's so horrific, and something that just does not feel good, and something that's just not fair. And it just seems like all the odds are against you. But you have to know that it's working together for your good. It could be 10 years from now. It could be 30 years from now. It could be 7 years from now. It could be 2 years, 5 months. But the Most High is going to use it for good, for your good, for His glory. But it's going to work for your good because you're His child. So, and I know it's hard in these times when you're going through seasons of despair, or you're going through seasons of waiting and you don't know what the next thing is going to be or where this is coming from. It may be hard, but I tell you what, the Most High is faithful. Yeshua is faithful. You have to have confidence that He is a man that cannot lie. You have to be confident that if you are not weary, if you don't grow weary in doing well, that you shall reap if you faint not. He said in due season. When is your season coming? I can't tell you when your season's coming, but He said in due season. That means when it's due you, in your due season, that you are going to reap a harvest that is probably going to blow your mind, because you're not even going to see how all that you went through was being used to bring this due season that's coming into your life. And we know that the Most High says that if you're willing and obedient, that you will eat the good of the land. You might not be eating the good of the land at this moment, as He's preparing you for your journey, and He's preparing you for your purpose, and He's preparing you to save many people alive, as He's preparing you and getting all that guck out of you and all that yuck out of you, and He's preparing you for His kingdom. You have to know that there's purpose in the pain, that there's purpose in these seasons, that He is perfecting that which concerns you. You might not know what's happening 7 years ahead or in 3 years up ahead, and you might not know why He shut that door so you wouldn't walk through it, because the danger that's up ahead, or how He's rerouting you for whatever the purpose that He has for your life. You have to be confident that He is the Most High, and He has a plan for your life. He has a purpose for your life. He has a plan for your pain. He has a plan for your disappointment. He has a plan for all the lack, the abundance, everything you're going through. There is a plan for you. You have to know it. You have to know it more than you know anything else. You have to have faith and believe that He is who He is, and that He is a rewarder of those that diligently seek Him. You will be rewarded. You will be rewarded. His word cannot lie. You will be rewarded. Trust Him. He is faithful. He is just. He said, I have never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. The Most High Yahuwah has you in the palm of His hands Do not be discouraged. Do not be dismayed, for the Lord your Yah is with you wherever you go. He is with you. You can rest assured that no weapon that is formed against you or fashioned against you, it will not prosper. And you can rest assured that every tongue, every foul spirit that rises up against you in judgment, judging you and calling you out of your name and calling your situations wrongfully and scheming behind your back and causing situations to look unfair. The Most High said that no weapon, it won't prosper. And he said, every tongue that rises up against you in judgment shall be condemned. Not some of the tongues. He said, every tongue. So if you are a child of the Most High Yah, I encourage you, honey, to get encouraged, to be strengthened, to be, what is that word? To be renewed, and just to be encouraged. Just be encouraged. Encourage yourself. Put your praise and worship music on. Get into a praise. Turn your plate down, fast. Afflict your body. Control this vessel. Be obedient to the will of the Most High Yahuwah, and watch and see how he comes through for you. Everything doesn't happen when you want it to happen, but I'm telling you, he's on time, Father, and his appointed time. He said that though it tarries, wait on it, because it will come. It will come. Your season of hope and your season of joy is coming. Trust the Most High. He's faithful, and he is a rewarder of those that diligently seek him. He loves you. Remember, seasons happen to us all, but Yahuwah is faithful. He's faithful, and you can rely on him. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and share the video. Appreciate you, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.